Okay, guys, so today we're going to be back on the phone, but we're going to be on a lesser known home screen that I have. So I've actually got a few kind of set up for different things, but today we're going to spend time in this folder over here that I have temporarily. So I've gone through and downloaded quite a few budget tracking, spending tracking apps, and a lot of these range from very simple to like very interesting to start up. So I'm only going over the ones that don't require an account to set stuff up and get going like immediately, basically. So that's only going to be like these top eights. These other ones require a little bit more of an involved process to get your stuff going on it. Okay, so to start off with, I've basically ordered them so that they're easier to find for me. And we're going to start off with Money Tracker over here. So I've basically gone into each of these and started them up and kind of put in like a couple different transactions for the most part. So if I go over to, I believe, the month, you'll see that I have a short summary of like things that I've put in, like a starting balance and then like a couple things in there. And then, yeah, that's kind of the basics of it. So I can add income and I can mark it, put the date, time, make sure I've got the right account, and then I just fill in the forms like that. And then the expense is the red one, and it's the exact same form, except for the fact that it pulls it off of the account versus adding to it. And so you can add multiple accounts to it. So I can go down here and add another account, pick the currency that it's going to use, and do things like that. Oh, and it's pretty simple. I believe you can do exchanges between accounts, but I'm not positive on that, so don't quote me on that. Let's see if I add an expense. Yeah. So I don't think it has a transfer thing per se between accounts, but yeah. So you'd have to manually go and expense and income if you were transferring money between accounts. So if you had a business account and the otherwise. So, and then we can graph things out, and it's pretty handy. Like I said, it's pretty simple. There is no dark theme at all, so you're stuck with light theme, which is sad, but anyway. The next one is Monly. This is kind of a very prettified one. Like, this feels like a woman made it and designed it. So, yeah, so we can go in, add a transaction. It's kind of semi not quite intuitive the way it does it. So you've got to go in here, it adds a thing to it, you pick your category, you change the thing. It's got a lot of flashy things. I don't quite like it. Like, there are other ones that are less pretty than this that I like better than this just because it's weird the way it does it. So you can add your own things. I didn't realize it had dark theme, really bad dark theme, but anyway. Yeah, I don't think I can recommend that one, but anyway. So the next thing is, let's see, my expenses. This one, like, I think is a little bit better. So we can go in to an account. This one has multiple accounts again. Date, time. So I could tap that, select a date, select a time. The payee, pretty easy to put in. You've got a whole load of default categories that you can go through. And then like you can tag them as certain things. So you can sort things out easier for tax purposes and add the receipt to it as well. So this is a lot more intuitive in the fact that, oh yeah, I can attach receipts to it and keep track of things that way as well. So the next one is Oink Coin, very pretty one. Oh, well, anyway. Yeah, so you've got your basic expenses or incomes when you add stuff. So like I added a salary one here for start one for the month and then like expenses here. So you can go into food and then fill in the stuff here. I mean, it kind of helps with sorting somewhat. It's a different workflow, is what it is. So if you like that kind of workflow, you can work with that. If we go into the settings here, we can obviously have our color schemes. Let's see, or was it recurring records? You can add recurring expenses on top of it. Our categories, here we go. So we can add a new income or new expense category and just sort it out like that. I believe these are the default ones. And then from there you can add like entertainment, work, whatever. Was there the account thing? I don't think there was. Yeah, I don't think there was much in the way of accounts per se, but yeah, you can start this up and it's pretty simple to start up. So next, Pisa. Some of these are very different. It does use materials, so it is much more pretty. So we can go into our accounts over here and see what's going on. And you can see that this bank account has that and that. I can go in here and add another account, whether it be cash, whatever. And then if we go into debts, we can, of course, add other things for our budgeting purposes. So this is more of a fleshed out budgeting, like expense tracking app that gives you all kinds of tools to keep track of things, including categories on top of it. Then here's your budgeting. So it'll keep track of things and let you know what's going on, of course. So if we go and hit the plus here, we can add a new transfer between accounts and things like that. Categories right here on top of it. So it's pretty cool. Again, you don't have to start an account with some service in order to start using this app either. Okay, so our next one is going to be Sushi. So Sushi is another basic one. And if I hit that there, it doesn't have much in the way of accounts per se. Well, no. Yeah, here we go. We can add an account and it lets you start off with initial amount in it. So if you're starting off with the month fresh, you can start with initial amount that way, which is kind of a way I prefer to have things. So you can see the bank account here, it adds the transactions in there. So if you're keeping track of things manually, you can do it that way. So you've got your transaction type, you've got a transfer from one account to the other, and so on. Let's see. Source account. So yeah, that'll be like, where are we getting this expense from? Short description, the amount, time, and creating transaction. Here's our cool graph that tells us how much we spent on food. And yeah, so if I go back into the other ones, if I go back to the accounts here in like Pisa, I can add it here. You can enter the initial amount and things like that. Just like Sushi. Sushi is kind of nice because, yeah, it just does things the way it does. Now, OinkCoin doesn't do the whole set up an account and here's your initial amount thing. Monly doesn't quite. I think actually it might do that in reality. So if we go into add account, yeah, we can add an initial amount, but it's really, really weird. I hate it. Money Tracker, again, doesn't let you start off with a starting amount, but you can add an income that way. So next, Simple Money is really, really simple. Like you add a transaction, so I can go for dot, come on, where's my dot 88, and go from the account of the bank account. And if I add category, doesn't want to do category, but anyway, I can add a note, Walmart. And for some reason, it doesn't let me add it. But anyway. So that's the weird thing I've run into with this one. So I don't know about that, but you've got all kinds of things to track a lot of things in it. So finally, is Money Manager EX. I set up an account in this, but then for some reason it didn't quite open it, and I enter the passphrase and things like that, so it's all encrypted. But I'm going to have to work out some other things in it to figure out what's up. But yeah, you can add an account and things like that to it. And again, it's all encrypted, so the database is basically right there, but it's encrypted. So you can open it, settings, per database, whatever. But I'd go in and show it because I've added transactions to it, but for some reason it won't open. So, and then it gives you that annoying thing. So yeah, those are some pretty simple money management apps to get you started and get the ball rolling if you've been having a hard time tracking money. And those don't require an account, and some of them offer encryption. So, one, they don't track you. Two, they're very private and encrypted in some cases. If you enjoyed the video, then like, comment, subscribe, feed the algorithm, boost the video up, share this video with your friends. If you found it informative or you just want to chat, I've got plenty of places in the description, Discord, Guilded, and what have you. Check those out, and I will see you guys in the next one.